consciousness. So now, in this great Mahasipadoppada, the great footprint of the elephant footprint. In this is the second to Buddha in wisdom. His pupil, his disciple called Sariputta. He explains, he shows his wisdom actually. He explains, now in Buddha's time, the body, he takes 5 things we have: body, feeling, perception, and this other reaction and consciousness. And the body, he takes the body separately and he separates it into the 4 elements. Not in terms of electrons and protons. That time, Buddha's time, they used to separate it according to the hard nature, nature-wise. Hard nature, liquid nature, heat, fire nature, and then air, wind nature. So, as a nature, say for example, the hard nature here and the hard nature here, if you take it as a nature, is there any difference? What do you think? Some of them who first time, can you tell me? Here the hardness and here the hardness. If you take the nature as hard, is there any difference? No. Okay. So we have more hard nature in our body, the bones, the teeth, right? Like this. And even our muscles, they're also having more hard. And the liquid nature, what do you have in our body? The blood, all right? And phlegm maybe. So the blood in your body and in the tap, the water that is flowing, is there any difference in regard to its liquidness? This is a way to look at it in your mind. It's a meditation. It's a meditation to look at the reality. It's also called insight meditation, which brings wisdom. So it's something more, your mind is calm and peaceful. You can do this easily, this exercise. So when you mentally picture and take it apart, like urine, for example, you have it here. You feel it's my urine. When it goes to the toilet, it mingles with the water there. So this idea of mind comes in this space. So this way you begin to take one part after the other. What happens? Do you disappear, or do you get your idea of I about you? Does it disappear, or does it get? What do you think? It reduces, right? If you do like that, can you do like that? These are the type of meditation in Buddha's teaching, where you mentally, now this is the wisdom eye, it's a different eye. It is in the frontal cortex. We have normally analyzing, contemplation and this kind of ability done here. But this is also done, this is called the eye of wisdom. All these sutras are, when you do like that, what happens? When you do like that, what happens? When you practice like that, if you attach to something, your attachment will disappear. If you had an ego about yourself, that you were there or there's somebody else there, that ego also will disappear. And the other thing is, when you look like that, then do you get the idea this is my body? Or do you think this is really not our body? It is made up of things that come from outside, food and all that. And then it gets built up. But we get an idea in our mind is as me and I. Okay? So now we know that consciousness depends this body to arise. Okay? So without the body, can consciousness arise in the sky or something? No. It needs an organ, and like we have artificial intelligence or what AI, what is that? Okay? So what is that? These young people today, they nicely told me, what is that AI thing? Is it a robot? They told me it's a robot. So they are very right. It's not consciousness there. Someone who had consciousness programmed that, right? A human being. Not that a robot made another robot. It's not possible. So anyway, so this consciousness is a very important thing in our life for our enlightenment. This is everything. If you are not conscious, there is nothing, no life, no nothing. Okay? If you understand consciousness, you will understand life. So what happens? you need this organ and you need an object, and depending on these two, you get consciousness. All right. So what happened when you see them separate? Like when you see the body as like taking them apart, the hard nature out, the liquid nature, the fire nature, like that. If you mentally picture and take them out, your mind begins to see this body as not you. Okay. Then this consciousness depends on a body. If it depends on a body that is not you, this consciousness also you. Yeah, good. You get the answer immediately. Anyone? It's not you. If say for example, this is your body, okay, and consciousness is this. It depends on this. If this is not you, can this be you? No. This also becomes no you. Okay. But these are just now intellectually we are thinking about it. But if you properly develop and visualize, so in this consciousness only we see this is my son, this is my daughter, this is my mother, this is my friend, this devotee is here. This I consciousness. Okay? So if I trained and practiced like that, then what happens? I have quite a detachment. If someone shout here or something happen here, will I be disturbed? No. If something is nice, will I be attracted? So I practiced like this, okay? So I had this auntie who used to get angry. So I was left in Sri Lanka, with my parents. Not my parents, I'm sorry. They were in Southern Africa at that time. And then I was left with my grandma. But for my pocket money, I had to go to this auntie to get my pocket money. So what happened? I had no experience. I know she's agitated, but never got angry with me. So once she took us to the tooth relic to see the Buddha's tooth relic in Kandy with passes. It's long years ago. I was 18 years old. Right this was in 93 or something like this. All right. So after we came back, those days there was LTT problems, bombs going off here and there. So elders didn't like you to be around crowd. They always were nervous. So what happened? I suddenly felt I want to go again in the line. So those days, as young people, we were a little arrogant. I told my auntie, I didn't tell, can I go? I told, I want to go. I'm going, I think, not I want to. And what happened? When I told her I'm going tomorrow or something like that, she went, whoa. You can understand, right? You can't understand when someone gets angry. She went she shouted at me, okay? So that time I have been practicing these things regarding how the body is separated and the consciousness is not mine. Immediately that awareness came to my mind. Okay, what the sound that she's telling is just a sound and this body is not mine, it's separated. Then she wondered what happened because there's no reaction. So this was the first and the last time she scolded me. I'm sure she's getting a lot of merit. She's now a very old lady. I'm telling this story everywhere. Okay? Because now she's different. We have become more peaceful. So this is very important to apply. Now I'm coming to a very important topic. Okay? I hope I have created the background for all this. It is regarding when you're getting old, the last period of your life, when you're dying. I found one gentleman in Sri Lanka who's very close to me also. He was having this schizophrenic, right? Yeah. So, hallucinations of people talking to, the dead people. His own, parents and one uncle. And suddenly he was trying to go out of the house, the old age home. And then I happened to visit there. And then he saw me and he said, oh, Swaminwan. He was so happy because all others seemed to not understand what is going on. They were trying to give him tranquilizers and all that. So when I came, he knew I have some idea what is going on. And he said, oh, Swaminwan, sir, I hope, And then I knew what was going on to him. Actually, he's seeing his ancestors. He's also about to leave this body. The last moment you begin to see your next, normally the next life. So the ancestors, they are trying to come and take him to their world. So it's funny, these ancestors, these people, they had done I know them, no means I know about them through other people. In 1943 or 4, this time, they have built monasteries. They have done good deeds, like they have gone pilgrimages to India so many times, and to Burma those days for retreats and all that. And every 4 full moon, not full moon, the moon cycles, every month, 4 times, they used to observe fasting and all these things. So this kind of people, they have fallen into this kind of state. I was wondering, what? Because though they have done like that, they have not become sufficiently detached from their body. So this is done daily as a practice, like with their families, their working places. They have been so close, and they have been, reacting with anger, aversion. So this accumulates that type of karma in the sensual world. So definitely good deeds are done. Those are there, they will give good fruit, but they don't guarantee you will get a human birth, because the last moment you have a last thought. Okay, so if your life has been with the 5 senses, sensual world a lot, that karma accumulated will bring a thought at that time. Okay, so that thought becomes an object for consciousness to arise. This is how rebirth happens, consciousness. So if consciousness arises, then you will get name and form and rebirth. Okay, this is a very deep and a very important topic. I don't know, I will have to tell you all this. So whatever karma you have accumulated in the sense world, this will come in the last moment as an object to distract you. So, for example, say, now such a person, now I was thinking they have done good merits and all that. So they have gone to the spirit world. It's like a transit lounge. Spirit world is like a transit lounge. You're not fixed anywhere. You're there hoping to be somewhere. Okay? So this is actually, we don't like to be in a transit lounge for more than 5 hours, 6 hours. Just imagine being there. You can't tell a time also. So I was thinking this kind of transit lounge, who have done so much good deeds, these good deeds also must be supported in some way. Maybe in that transit lounge they have KFC, McDonald's, something to pass the time. I don't know, maybe. Because there should be some facilities. There has to be some facilities with this good karma. I have not idea really what's really going on there. But definitely they are in that state. Okay? So normally, this is very important thing I'm trying to explain. This last moment, even in your coma, in clinical level you may be in coma, but the mind is working, even in the subtlest way. Now even to come to this program, you must have some karma. In this way, you would have heard from somebody and you would have got the urge to come, or somebody forced you to come, and some way or the other, then you come. Okay? So all this happens, why? If you don't have some action, reaction in the past, there are occasions where people have come like that, and they have become more devotees than the people who took them. So because they had more potential, more destiny, but they don't know, they also don't know in themselves. So it's Buddha's time this happened also. So when they come like this, then you come and then you experience your karma. Being here. Same way rebirth also. What karma you have accumulated, predominant one, it comes. So it starts from an object, a distracting object, which becomes the cause for consciousness to arise. And then it propels you to a next life, suitable parents, suitable this thing, and suitable environment for you to bring out this potential. So it goes on like that. Now, when your last breath goes, normally you will be, when the last breath goes, what do you think? Will we be distracted by this thought that comes, or can we see the last breath going? Can we keep noticing it? What do you think? Will be the last thought, we will go to that last thought, or we'll be normal person who had, like a lot of attachments and where maybe did good things also, but not train the mind enough. But will he be distracted by the thought that might come, or will he be able to just watch peacefully, until the last moment? Sorry? Okay. That is common sense, right? Be distracted, right? Okay. So when distracted means what? There's a cause for consciousness to arise. Then rebirth will happen. Now there's some type of saints in Buddha's teaching called anagami. Anagami is called non-returner. He does not return to this plane, the sensual plane. Why? He has no desires in the sensual plane, the five senses. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and the five senses. But he has still attachment to peacefulness, to his meditation. Okay? So here, and he has craving as well as karma, accumulated meditation karma. Okay? So his mind goes to that. That's why he goes to the higher godly world, Brahmaloka, but he does not come to the human plane. Now such a being, when the last breath goes, do you think such a person like him can keep his attention, or will he be distracted? Sorry? Think this is not multiple choice question. Or just, I'm not telling you answering like that, but just think now, because he's like a pure person, you're thinking like that, right? Now many think because he's a pure person and he already don't have desires here, but he still have desires to something, right? That's why he's called anagami. What is he having desire for? The peacefulness. And he has made karma in that, that's why he's going to the Brahmaloka. So will he be distracted or not? Will he be able to keep the attention to the breath? Sorry? Distracted. I'm giving the answer, right? Because it's not an easy one too. And to realize it is also not easy. It's more this thing. So all of you, do you think he'll be distracted? Yes, okay. Okay. Yes, he will be distracted to the peace. So that peace becomes an object for consciousness to arise. Okay. So if that peace, and the peace is a part of consciousness. We have three feelings. It's part of feeling. We have pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, neutral feeling. So peace. Okay, right. So you have. Don't worry. I have covered most of it. Okay, coming to the end. You will get more blessings. Don't worry. You will. This group will be in my mind because there are situations like this. Even LTT, they couldn't serve the food. They are still in my mind forever, because I determined in that time, though I couldn't give them this time, I'm going to search for them and give, because these certain situations happen sometimes like that. So the anagami, he'll also get distracted. Okay, so the consciousness needs an object. The feeling, peaceful feeling, is a neutral feeling, and the neutral feeling, when he gets distracted by that becomes an object for consciousness. Okay. For Arahants, for example, the last breath when he's going, do you think Arahant means a fully enlightened person? Can he keep his attention to the breath? When he keeps his attention to the last breath, no distraction, no object, no desire for peace or anything, completely in true peace, then when he's keeping his attention to the last breath, no conditions, is there any conditions for consciousness? When there's no conditions for consciousness, can it arise? When it does not arise, will there be rebirth? No rebirth. Okay, this is my teacher is to explain to me this and tell is profound. Don't think it's simple, but this made when I understood like that also, Later on, if you happen to read the Buddha's original teachings and meditate on that, this will become very meaningful. This will even make you enlightened, because that clarity will make you see what's the Buddha's purpose. He removes the causes for consciousness to arise. His problem is not just this world problem. His problem is rebirth, being reborn again and again. So without this knowledge of rebirth, just for some peacefulness, some good health benefit, you meditate. This is not a very profound idea of meditation. Meditation has a bigger purpose. It's to remove you from this cycle of this thing. That is a more mature, then even happiness, comfort, all that becomes vain. You want to find a permanent solution. Okay? So I think I have covered that important thing. That's about Vivekananda and all that. Anyway, how to do it, huh? Textbook. Which one? Word of the Buddha. Okay, yeah, that's very important. So this is one of the books I have recommended, Word of the Buddha. As I told you, your karma will be cleared. Because this is, all these words are, some word made some beings enlightened. Okay? So today when we clear our lifestyle and make our tranquil mind more, then when we are reading it, not one time, 4 times, 5 times, then the visions will happen. Intuitive vision can happen from these words. This is why I'm stressing people. Now a lot of people, they are like discoursing the teachings. Okay, it's some kind of knowledge and not this realization. It to be contemplated. When you contemplate only, the vision will come, clarity will come, and desirelessness will come. Then all your karma gets burnt away. And this, just reading it also, as I told you, when I read and went, that yogi in India, he told me how 80%, 120%. Then I realized just not meditating peacefully, that's also good, but not powerful as reading and contemplation. It can clear your karma faster. And there are other ways I tell people who have a lot of unsolvable problems connected with the Bodhi tree and all that. There's no time for that, right? You might look at one of the YouTube programs, okay? And I told even today program, the end, when you have some really difficult problem, some things to be done, when you don't have solutions, how to activate the Buddha's certain energy through the Bodhi tree. Okay, this you have to go through the YouTube. I won't explain, there's no time for that. ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන ඉන්නවද? ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන අය ගොඩක් ඉන්නවා නේද? When there are unsolvable problems, because people come to me with looking for miracles and all that, so I'm trying to give something. So this is actually Brahma Murta time. Brahma Murta means 3:20 to 3:40, but at least until 4:30, this particular time period, the Buddha's body was equated to the Bodhi tree. That's why Jetavana Rama, the Bodhi. And also Buddha looked at it, he paid his tribute to the Bodhi tree. No being can, or no object can bear that tribute. But the Buddha's tribute was able to, his worship was able to be experienced by the Bodhi tree. So thinking of this thing, if you just think it's a tree, it will be a tree. And thinking also the Buddha's qualities, how many births he perfected. And some of his deeds he did in one life, how it is for 1 year, the power is there as a protection. So how many of those lives, once he gave his children to perfect, to accomplish his mission, to serve the humanity, to serve living beings. So all this, if you reflect, though he's not alive physically, if you recall his purity, that power of his sacrifice and that purity, that it is still there. It's there if you recall it. And recalling like that in a Bodhi tree, if you can't get a Bodhi tree, I know one gentleman who was doing a retreat and he was worried about black magic and this done, that done. Okay, so many things. And he was only there for 1 day, but he didn't have money, he had cancer halfway, and all these problems, not one. His father died with black magic done by something like that. I don't believe in this kind of black magic, but anyway, he says. But his mind looks so disturbed. So he stayed for the retreat. He got borrowed money and then he managed to, first day only he wanted to stay, but he stayed all days. The third day he told me all this. And then I told him, when you finish the retreat, you go to the Bodhi tree and you find this and do this. 3 days and at least many days, much as possible. But I found the 4th, 5th day, he looks like, he's like so bright, shining like a sun. You see, he has recalled the Jayasri Mahabodhi in Sri Lanka, the original Bodhi tree. And from here, where he was, he did the puja already. He said when he go there, he will do the real one also. But it was having an effect. I also have an experience, there's no time to tell about this, and also other people, how with cancer and all other difficulties, where there's no solutions and uncurable, other complicated things. So this is one thing I tell, at least 3 days, you go there and place it. You have to recall the power of his, the many lives he has done, how it is still active, it's live, it's working. And then place it to his, you could say, you must also recall that whatever hidden karma you have in previous life that is obstructing and giving pain to you, that he's the master to resolve the karma. So you place it to him to clear your path, that you can place. And think of his noble feet, the main 2 marks in his feet of the chakra, the disc, and the sankha, the conch shell, in his below, the might he bought to be a blessing to the living beings for many lives. So you must recall this, okay? And then you place it and do it for 3 days. If it's not possible early morning, at least any other time. So, and also if you can do it continuously, if you get some benefit, do it continuously. And I'm sure you are then activating another force that will give, clear your difficulty. So, just one part I thought අටයි 45 වෙනකල් නෑනේ. අට අමාරනේ. හරි කවන්නේ නෑ. නැද මල්ලි? Doesn't matter. Okay, I read one part of Buddha thing. This is from the word of the Buddha. There are so many others. This is like a handy book taken from the original and put it into this one book. This made my teacher from a Hindu yogi to a follower of Buddha in the intern camp many years ago. Views and discussions about the self. Now, if someone should say that feeling is his self, he should be answered thus. There are 3 kinds of feeling: pleasurable, painful, and indifferent feeling. Which of these 3 feelings do you consider as yourself? Because at the moment of experiencing one of these feelings, one does not experience the other 2. These 3 kinds of feelings are impermanent, of dependent origin, are subject to decay and dissolution. Say any feeling, you're eating some food, it touches. While it touches only, that feeling is there. So with feeling only we get the idea of me, I. We have like unconscious or anesthesia or general anesthesia. We will see where is me. Sometimes when you're seated, when your leg is numb, you can't feel, or you don't see it from your eyes, you think, where's my leg? So with the feeling only the idea of me, I arises. Okay. So these 3 kinds of feelings are impermanent, dependent origin, and subject to decay and dissolution, to fading away and extinction. Whoever in experiencing one of these feelings thinks that this is his self must, after the extinction of that feeling, admit that his self has become dissolved. You must picture, if when that feeling goes away, if you think this feeling was me, then you must be dissolving. It can't be so. You cannot be something that changes and disappears. It should be something that does not change. Okay? Feeling, then his self must, after the extinction of that feeling, admit that his self has become dissolved. And thus he will consider his self already in this present life as impermanent, mixed up with pleasure and pain, subject to rising and passing away. If anyone should say that feeling is not his self, and that his self is inaccessible to feeling, he should be asked thus, now where there is no feeling, is it then possible to say, this am I? Or another might say, feeling indeed is not myself, but it is also untrue that myself is inaccessible to feeling. For it is myself that feels, myself that has the faculty of feeling. Such a one should be answered thus, suppose that feeling should become altogether totally extinguished. Now, if after the extinction of feeling, no feeling whatsoever exists there, is it then possible to say, this am I? This have to be pondered, okay? If you get these books, if you have to think, if you want to really get self-realized, these are the topics, and it will make you mentally free and awaken. So, anyone wants to ask one question? Yes? You have been listening and asked.
First of all, I need to offer my gratefulness to you, Thero, coming all the way and enlightening us with your wisdom. I have two questions. One question, can I please have the name and the author of the book, please?
Okay, this one here, Word of the Buddha by Gñanaloka Matera. You have to rush quickly.
And second one is, you have mentioned about wisdom meditation.
Yeah.
Can you explain it a little bit more?
Yes. Now, what I just now read, if you learn to contemplate, then only your wisdom will be awakened. The special type of wisdom of analyzing, reflecting, contemplating, where the I, how does the I arises? Then your special faculty will start to work. There are other things. Buddha is nothing but wisdom meditation. Buddha is nothing but, Buddha means wisdom. Pure wisdom. So, this is what? Reading and contemplating, not too much calmness. But the calmness also, that focus, all that focus power will also improve from this, because this is the king of focus, king of meditation. Alright? So, this is one. I am going to give you another very important takeaway regarding karma. Okay? Do we have 5 minutes? No. I think we are really short of time, right? Otherwise, we'll get locked inside here maybe until tomorrow. There's one short thing about karma, because I want to give you all something, I started the ashram or the monastery October in Sri Lanka. No one will believe as a wandering monk, whether I will ever take up a monastery or do a monastery. So, 4 years ago, I told you some people see karma in India. I happen to have this many meetings. Who can see, when they see your body, they don't see your body, they see your karma. What type of karma you're going through now, what karma you did to experience this, and when it finishes. Like this, they have a vision of things. So anyway, I have these experiences like one guru. In 2019, he was telling something. I quickly wrote down in a small card, like a postcard, and then it was there in my bag. I put the date that I wrote, and then I wrote the points what he said. And the last point he said, something was there, and then this. And all that. That girl, when I told them about, don't worry, you don't die like that, then only they got some peace. Because these are not, I have no time to give you many things, but I don't think you should blindly study, but you should investigate everything and honestly search. So, this was in 2019, October 10th, 30th in India. Okay, I've written the date, and then there's something written here. Now, in last year only, I took up the ashram or the monastery and started working. This was 30th, 10th, 2019. 4 years from now, from that time, it will be October. That's the time I was in the room, Kutir, reading this. So, this is actually, especially for young people, I hope even for old people who have some skeptical, this karma, how the karma is working. Who will imagine that having an ashrama, me as a wandering monk? So anyway, I can't share more things, but I hope you all will study and practice something, and you will gain in this human birth. I hope it will not be wasted. and you will get to this peacefulness. Even you have to live, do the living part, but make sure you don't neglect this. You have all the potential, all of you, and I wish you all that you will achieve that. May the Devatas give all protection. The Buddha Dhamma Sangha, all that blessings come to your life. ඒකට යෝධ බල ශක්තිය ලැබෙන්න ඕනේ. මේ මහා සංඝරත්නය මේව රැකගෙන ඉන්න ඒ උත්තම අයට උත්තම ශක්තිය ලැබෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වගේම ඒ හැමෝටම මේ කරගත්ත පුණ්‍ය ශක්තියින් දෙමව්පියන්ට ඥාතීන්ට ඉෂ්ඨකාමී දේවතාන් වහන්සේලාට අනුමෝදන් වෙන්න දායකයින් මේ වටේ හැමෝම මේකට අතහිත දීලා වටපිටාව ආරක්ෂාව දීගෙන ඉන්න හැමෝටම අනුමෝදන් වෙන්න. සතරවරම් දෙවිවරුන්ට සක්‍ර දේවේන්ද්‍රට විශ්වකර්ම දිව්‍ය පුත්‍රයන් වහන්සේට මාතෘ දිව්‍ය රාජන් වහන්සේට සහම්පති බ්‍රහ්ම දිව්‍ය රාජන් වහන්සේට ඍෂිවර මුනිවරු සිද්ධල්ලට ඒ වගේම ගන්ධර්වන්ට බහිරවරුන්ට නාග නාගීන්ට 33 කෝටිය සම්‍යක් දෘෂ්ටික දේවතාන් වහන්සේලාට අනුමෝදන් වෙත්වා. මේ බුද්ධ ශාසනය ආරක්ෂා කරන පෙරම් පුරන නොපෙනෙන ලෝකේ පේන ලෝකේ වාසය කරන ඒ උතුම් දේව ලෝකේ බ්‍රහ්ම ලෝකේ ගුණ වඩන උත්තමයන් වහන්සේලා එකතු වෙලා මේ උතුම් බුදු සසුන ආයි ආරක්ෂා කරලා ඉස්සරහට මේ සත්‍යයන්ට ප්‍රතිපත්ති සාධනේ ප්‍රතිවේද ශාසනේ ආයි මතු කරලා ගන්න වටපිටාව සකස් වෙත්වා. ඒ හින්දා මේ පින්වතුන්ලට මේ ආපු ගමන ධෛර්ය ශක්තිය ලැබේවා. සංසාර පෙරපින් මත වේවා. සියලු දුක් කරදර දුර වේවා. කවදාකවත් දුකක් නැති ඒ උතුම් මඟ මතු කරගන්න සසර කරපු පුණ්‍ය බලය මත වෙන්න. සම්බුදුන් වහන්සේගේ පාරමී බලයට নমස්කාරය වෙත්වා. බුදුන් බුද්ධ අධිෂ්ඨානයට নমස්කාරය වෙත්වා. ඒ වගේම සියලු යතිවරයන් වහන්සේට নমස්කාරය වෙත්වා. සංකඩගල පුරවරේ පුරාණ දිබ්බ ශ්‍රී විභූතිය ආයි මේ මනුලව දලදා සමිදුගේ අනන්ත ගුණ බලය දස දිශාවට තුන් ලෝකෙටම සම්බුදුන් වහන්සේගේ බුද්ධ කරුණාවෙන් ඇති කරමු අරමුණ ඉෂ්ට වෙන්න. මේ මහා ශාසනය ලෝක සත්‍ය වෙනුවෙන් පරියන්ත දේශින් ශාසනය පීඩපු අඩවි වලින් ඈතව තියෙන ඒ වහන්සේගේ මහා ගුණ බලය පාරමී ශක්තිය මේ ලෝක සත්‍ය වෙනුවෙන් පීඩන්න. වහන්සේගේ ශ්‍රීපාදයේ සී සංඛ්‍යාත චක්‍රයත් ඒකේ ආනුභාවය ලෝක සත්‍යයට රැකවරණයක් සිද්ධ වේවා. මේ කාලෙත් මේ බුදු ශාසනය ප්‍රතිපත්ති පූජාවෙන් ප්‍රතිපත්ති අවදි වෙලා සියලු දෙනාගේම සතර අපායට යන මාර්ගය වැළැක්වෙන්න. ඒ අරමුණ ඉෂ්ට වේවා. මලි දාන මලි